Johnny Depp, the world-famous actor starring in Pirates of the Caribbean, has wowed audiences for decades in unforgettable roles. But the last couple of years were not because of the movies that kept him alive in the spotlight. Explosive accusations by his ex-wife Amber Heard have turned his life into a real-life drama and dragged the two into heated court battles that millions of people worldwide have witnessed unfolding. Once an innocent Hollywood love story involving Johnny Depp and Amber Heard has transformed into one of the most debated and publicized legal dramas recently. Masters of eccentric roles in films like Pirates of the Caribbean and Edward Scissorhands, what started as a whirlwind romance turned out to be a saga unfolding through shocking accusations of court battles and media scrutiny.
I'm asking Johnny, Amber, and by the way, I would have been surprised if you even got a role in a movie directed by an AI. Hollywood seems to be pretty down with you. The rumor says that Disney wants you back. Is that true?
Yeah. Although Amber and Johnny Depp met and had their first encounter for filming The Rum Diary, there was no dating back in 2009. However, by 2015, they were finally together and married.
I knew after he threw the phone at my face that after all that month of not seeing each other, not getting better, not getting clean and sober, there wasn't even... I didn't, it was falling apart. I knew I had to leave him. I knew I wouldn't survive it if I didn't. So I made the decision to file for divorce.
Sadly, though, their relationship portrayed the cracks from the earliest day. Amber filed for her separation after being married to the famous actor for just 1.5 years when she accused him of physical, emotional, and verbal abuse. He disputed these allegations, and divorce became a nightmare both legally and in the press for both parties, with one party describing the relationship as absolutely normal and the other detailing domestic abuse. Depp and Heard went ahead and focused on their respective careers following their first divorce, but the allegations were still ongoing. Amber Heard penned an op-ed for the Washington Post in 2018, describing herself as a survivor of domestic abuse. While referring neither to Depp by name nor to Heard of their relationship, the point was clear. Depp promptly fired back with another defamation suit, this one accusing Heard of having somehow destroyed his career with an op-ed piece that she penned. The couple again spearheaded international news concerning the state of their relationship. Tens of millions watched the whole drama play out in this defamation suit that Depp filed against Heard in 2022. A mix of reactions was posted and shared on social media, especially on YouTube and on Twitter. Many stood to defend Depp by exposing that he was wrongfully labeled, while others supported that Heard was brave to discuss what happened. This is probably the last thing JD wanted, was to be put in the spotlight. AH needs to be held accountable for what she did deliberately and maliciously to JD, his family, and his career.
Surreal and difficult, in part, yes. This has been a long time coming.
Do you stand by your testimony and your accusations against Johnny Depp about abuse?
Of course, to my dying day, will stand by every word of my testimony.
However, Heard also has fans who feel that speaking against domestic violence was a brave thing that she did. Pretty sure very soon the news will be like Johnny marrying blah blah blah. Marriage is like a joke to them. They change men and women like clothes. Such polarized reactions demonstrate just how split people are on their relationship, and emotions on either side have run pretty high.
Why don't we, since you have some questions about it, why don't we watch it again?
Oh, I've seen it
again, please, Michelle. Okay, you know what, we don't have to do that.
No, that's good.
We don't have to do that. This is at your house in West Hollywood on Sweetser Avenue, correct?
That's correct, sir.
And that's you in the video, Mr. Depp, right?
That's correct, sir.
One of the most astonishing pieces of evidence that surfaced throughout their court battles is the concerning recordings, text messages, and therapy session notes where both Depp and Heard accuse each other of every possible form of harm or damage. In one of the audio leaks, Heard is heard saying, "I did not punch you, I was hitting you." The audio raised several reactions, with most of them being in the opinion that the words of Heard validate the allegations of abuse made by Depp. He described an abusive relationship with a narcissist. First, they seduce you by behaving lovely, and every victim of an abusive relationship says that at the beginning, the person was almost too good to be true. They literally create a character for themselves, and then after they have you, they start slowly revealing their real aggressive and egocentric nature, and they start to destroy you.
You're claiming that due to Amber's allegations of abuse, you can't be in Pirates 6, correct?
I'm saying that after everything had basically hit its media targets and the hit pieces kept coming, it would be, I would be a real simpleton to not think that there was an effect on my career based on Ms. Heard's.
However, Heard shared incidents wherein she claimed Depp was violently physical. She described cases where Depp allegedly hurled objects, screamed at her, or physically hurt her. These allegations were also hotly debated in social media. Johnny has to win this. That horrid woman has done so much damage. Public opinion toward Depp and Heard's relationship has been at a fever pitch. Fans and followers have picked apart every piece of evidence. They've scrutinized every statement and made their opinions loud and clear. For Depp, this public support has helped him reclaim some of his career. Since his victory in the U.S. trial, he's slowly come back on his feet, even stepping out on the red carpet at the Cannes Film Festival. This support shows Depp testified to the loyalty that his fan base has showed to him, remaining by his side even at the worst phases of his career. Johnny Depp isn't perfect, but he deserves a fair shot just like anyone else. We don't know the full story, and we probably never will.
I am harassed, humiliated, threatened every single day. Even just walking into this courtroom, sitting here in front of the world, having the worst parts of my life, things I've lived through, used to humiliate me. People want to kill me, and they tell me so every day.
For Heard, it's been a very different tale. She's had to endure tremendous online harassment as the people were questioning her motives and her truthfulness. Represents a much larger issue within society. Women who speak out too often suffer from public outcry. Women should be listened to without such brutality. Most feel that the punishment handed down to Heard was too severe, and regardless of the truth of her claims, it didn't seem appropriate. No one can dispute the role that media coverage plays in defining the relationship between Heard and Depp in the minds of the public. Major news channels, talk shows, and social networking sites all fan the flames, so to speak, creating an environment in which everyone seemed to have an opinion.
I will say his lawyers did certainly a better job of distracting the jury from the real issues.
For some people
argue that it was simply impossible to get a level-headed view of the situation amid the media circus. In media narratives, many people turn their attention to primary sources like court documents, therapy notes, and recordings for their decisions based on these doubts. Public opinions also showed how celebrity culture affects our perception of the world, particularly relationships and justice. Many people seemingly connected with Depp based on performances in successful films.
My idea of bleached lavender, you think that you want to remove the color of the lavender, the purple part of it.
Yeah, I see what you did. I don't know what you did, but you housed it somehow, like almost in a different room.
Exactly, and the sound echoes differently.
The acoustics changed completely.
Totally.
This connection influenced what they felt about the claims against him. This kind of connection muddies how everyone interprets the accusations, and a question emerges here. Is our affection towards celebrities blinding us from seeing them objectively?
And Australians are just as unique, both warm and direct. When you disrespect Australian law, they will tell you firmly.
I am truly sorry that Pistol and Boo were not declared. Protecting Australia is important.
Declare everything when you enter Australia.
This litigation, however, has left deep impacts on Depp and Heard. Career-wise, allegations cost Depp his share. Although his trial in 2022 has assisted him to take back some of what is his by rights, his return to public events would still be enough to satisfy most fans' desires.
No, I didn't go anywhere, you know what I mean? I mean, people may have made sure that I was not looked at favorably. Powerful press, powerful media, this, that, for whatever reasons. I suggest that before people start pointing fingers and making judgment on others that they have no idea.
Who probably now hope that he could set targets for further new engagements. Heard, however, left for Europe, and since the end of the trial has kept a relatively low profile. Some sympathize with her, while others maintain their distance.
No, that's the thing.
You want to see crazy? I'll give you fucking crazy. That's crazy. Oh, you're crazy. You're crazy.
Have you drunk this whole thing this morning?
What's strange was her constantly feeding him alcohol. Why you gotta give him wine for? Make him dinner.
very customary for us to pay everything that Mr. Depp was obligated to pay.
Are you familiar with an entity known as 2020 Wine Merchants?
Yes, I am.
Why are you familiar with it?
It's a prominent purveyor of wine in Los
Checking
Angeles,
Your Honor
California.
Foundation.
Now she's trying to say he's an alcoholic. She was enabling him and using that against him. Pork chops and apples hash, 789.
And you may have been drunk in that video, correct?
There's a possibility of that, yes, sir.
You poured yourself a mega pint of red wine, correct?
A mega pint.
Yeah.
I poured myself a large glass of wine.
Right.
I thought it necessary.
Right.
Shared a broader perspective on manipulation and toxic relationships, saying that's how narcissists work. Amazing at first, then it's a roller coaster ride that's hard to get off.
Amber, how are you feeling? Did Johnny pay you to stay?
The soap opera has addressed matters such as domestic abuse, public perception, and the role of the legal system in celebrity relationships.
Clearly, I was having a bad time. I don't know what it was with regard to completely at this point, since I don't know the date. But being illegally recorded by your chosen other is well, it's quite fitting with the rest of the photographs and tape recordings she made. So I thought what was most interesting is that she tried to hide it from me, and then that she laughed and smiled at the end. I thought that was the most interesting part.
Other sides of the battle were public opinion courts, where people were forming strong views based on news narratives, leaked recordings, and personal bias.
Mr. Depp's claim against Ms. Heard. 1. As to the statement appearing in the online op-ed entitled, "Amber Heard, I spoke up against sexual violence and faced our culture's wrath. That has to change." In the Washington Post online edition.
The legal battles of Depp and Heard may have come to an end, but the debates unleash
I live my life with these sets of rules that I have to follow, my friends have to follow, for me not to have a panic attack or a triggering event where I relive the trauma. Even if I'm training to do my movie, for instance, if I'm training for Aquaman.
I was probably far more controversial many years ago than anything now. But listen, things go in whatever direction they go.
If you enjoyed this video and you want to stay updated on similar stories, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and let us know your thoughts in the comments below.